Greetings and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. So, this is a series that I've been meaning to do for a long time. I even had a poll up a while ago and people wanted to see it and I just never got to it. So, here we are. So, this is actually not the vanilla Masquerade Bloodline. This is the Barabbah's mod add-on where it adds it's got the unofficial patch built into it. It's got more clans added in. In fact, all the vanilla clans are not in here. We're going to be looking at the new clans that were added. Hence why I'm not going to be doing what type of vampire I would be, since I don't know if that's going to work or not. So we're just going to go right here. And so when you get this mod, it's going to be on ModDB, and just look at the Barabbah's mod. There's going to have an installer, and when you install it, there's going to be two options, one row and then a second. There should also be a manual that you can look at. It'll tell you what clans are in which row, since there's a lot of clans. So like here. So we're just going to take a quick look at all these, and then I'll show you the other ones, because I think the character I want to play as is on the other version. So yeah, so we have, let's take a look here. We have the Nephilim, part of a bloodline and part cult that revered the fallen Methuselah Michael as an embodiment of the archangel of the same name. They refer to his ascension as they wait for someone who can inherit his dynasty. And they're all going to have different histories that you could potentially do, like Repentant, Guru here, Born Leaders, alternate starting trait priorities. And they also have their own, benefits and detriments, like vanilla clans. And they're all different. They'll be all in that manual that if you just check out, they'll tell you everything. They even add new is it gonna be in here? Yeah, they even add new disciplines, like chemistry here, which is like illusions and whatnot. So it's really interesting. So yeah, so there's the Nephilim. And then we have the I'm gonna butcher this. Tlaske. It's Latin American, and unless someone tells me how to actually pronounce it, I just go off phonetics here. Believed to be a descendant from the followers of Set, but rather than Set, they venerate Tezcatlipoca, god of darkness and sorcery. Possesses Protean instead of the clan discipline of Serpentis. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of wish the Set were added into this one. I don't think they are. They might be in the other line. I can't remember, so I guess we'll see when we get to it, but yeah. Logan, there you go. In the past, when you were young, you loved reading comics, mostly X-Men. -2 to seduction and get 1 to melee and brawl. Zookeeper, professional mountain climber. So yeah, cheaper Protean, but also more expensive at intimidation and subterfuge. Animal control officer. So, that's an interesting one. Ananke. Perform Haruspects, the art of divination, through reading the entrails of freshly killed animals. This means that an Ananke Malkavian often has low morality. So these are an offshoot of the Malkavians, which are the crazy ones. We'll just go with that for simplicity's sake. And just an aside, I wanted to do this series because we haven't done a Princess of Darkness for a CK3 one, and I kind of want to do another one of that. But Elder Kings just got updated to, like, for the first time in ages, so it's actually up to date with everything. So I think our next CK3 series, along with our Game of Thrones, is going to be Elder Kings. So look forward to that. I'm just deciding which kind of a series we're going to be doing. I have a couple ideas. But Strip Dancer, 1 to seduction, but also -1 to stealth, taxi driver, dentist, lawyer. I don't really know if this actually gives us anything or not, but it's cool it's there. Gargoyle. There we go. If you want to be a gargoyle, I've always thought the gargoyles were kind of interesting. If created by the Chimeras, they're defenders. Technically not a bloodline, but I think in modern Vampire World of Darkness that they've just become like their own clan now, which is really cool. If I wanted to go, they got, wow. The females can just look straight up, and males are just gangrels and Nosferatu, huh? interesting. But yeah, Scout, Sentinel, Warrior, Unknown Lineage. If we go to Sheets, Fortitude, and there's another new discipline there, which is Visceratica, I think is how it's pronounced, because it's like Viscera and then Tika. But yeah, this is like kind of makes it personal for gargoyles. Is like a stone kind of thing going on, I believe. But yeah, and we have Ravnos, really good for illusions, if I recall. These are like from the Indian subsect from India, obviously. These Canaanites are deceivers of the First Order, weaving illusions and lies to elaborate schemes. Ravnos play their devil's deals with whomever they choose. Wanderer, one of manipulation and dexterity, but also a maximum of 2 to melee. So if I wanted to do a melee character, Ravnos would not be it. They also have, yeah, Chemistry here. Thrill Seeker, Biker. Then we have Telyavs. The Telyavic Tremere are a bloodline of the Tremere born in the Dark Ages. As the Tremere were learning thaumaturgy, the founders of this bloodline split from their parent clan when they were sent to learn the magic of Eastern European pagan cults. Archaeologist, artisan, anthropologist, visionary. So I think when last time I actually played, like I've said before, like years ago, I never beat Vampire the Masquerade, hence I wanted to do the series. But if I recall, the character I did was an actual Tremere, so that's cool. Want to do a Tremere. And then we have a Vol'jir, a secret lineage of Toreador. The darkly beautiful Vol'jir were experts in the blackest pursuits of arts, employing vicissitude. All is this one vicissitude I think wasn't in, it's not in vanilla, but it's the what is it? Not the Tremere, the Toreador. It's the what are they? Zemissi. That's it. That's the Zemissi's bread and butter is vicissitude. Yeah. Powerful supernatural abilities. Malleable visage. Fleshcraft. Bonecraft. Bones throughout all the victim's flesh. Horrid form. Transform into the war form Zulo, not usable by the Vol'jir. Creates a Zlacha, not usable by the Vol'jir. So obviously these can't be used for Vol'jir, so we'll have to find ones that might potentially be able to use it. Can the Talavs? Thaumaturgy. Yeah, no, I don't see. Gargoyle. Yeah. 1 point of like strength and resistance lasts 20 seconds per activation. Alright, so this is basically just kind of makes you a tank. So Viscera Tika is just makes you just a tank. Anake, Presence, Dementation, Unique Legacy of the Malkavians, yep. Tlasika, Protean, Presence, Obfuscate, all normal there. And Nephilim. Yeah, and then Chemistry. Ignis Fatus. Vampire casts on the target an entrancing illusion which momentarily sinks into a deep trance. All enemies within a smaller radius will think you've disappeared. So, yeah. Alright, so let me just get the other one set up first. And then you guys can see the other clans. Alright, so there we go. Here's the other line. Line 1, which has obviously the first one up here is the Daywalker. I think you can tell the inspiration for this. Hey, true believers! Sharpen your fangs lately? I mean, you never know when you'll run into Blade! Yep, you heard right. From the pulse-pounding pages of mighty Marvel Comics to the tenebrous world of darkness, he's coming closer, closer. Blade! Imagine one man having to battle a coffin full of fang-faced bloodsuckers about to take over the world. Blade! Okay, I get it. His name is Blade. He's Blade. This is another side. When I was installing this one, I totally forgot to mention there is another mod that's also put in here besides the unofficial patch. and it's the Arsenal mod, which seems to add a whole bunch of other new weapons, which I was tempted to, but I didn't look into it, and it does make the game even more difficult, since a lot of them apparently are OP, from what I've seen in reviews. Fun, but like OP, so die a lot, and I haven't played this in years, so maybe for another future series, if we do this again, I can do the Arsenal mod. Or if you guys want to see the Arsenal mod and just watch me die, go right ahead, let me know, and I'll, like I said, we're not going to get far in this first episode here, so I can just restart with the Arsenal mod. But yeah, so we have Dampier, +2 to charisma, and also -2 to frenzy checks. Alright, well there's Blade if you want to be a female. Obviously this one is based off of Blade. Death Dealer, alternate starting trait priorities. Sheet, Fortitude, Potence, Celerity, and Presence. So they get 4 disciplines to start off with, but if I recall, what is their detriment again? Oh, humanity changes are doubled. Well, what just happened? Alright, yeah. So all humanity changes are doubled as the detriment for the Daywalkers, which isn't that bad. They get 4 disciplines, and apparently they can walk in the daylight. I don't know how that's possible in this game, unless there is a day cycle I'm not unaware of, but interesting. And then we got the Crow. It can't rain all the time. The sky won't fall forever, and though the night seems long, your tears won't fall forever. So this is obviously based off of the Crow movies and comic series, which I'm always down for. The Crow is one of my favorite movies. Actually, The Crow in 1994 is like my favorite movie of all time, so Brandon Lee, rest in peace. But yeah. So all humanity changes are doubled as well, I believe, as a detriment for this one. And I think they get, they get a point in animalism as well. So they get 4 disciplines as well, but Aspects, Celerity, Presence. Large radius suffers. Victims suffer 20% chance to be mesmerized. Aspects and Celerity are kind of always really good, adding wits and perception. Celerity just makes you faster. Animalism, maybe. History, factory worker, underground rocker. No venue was safe after you, and no one was left unsatisfied by the show. Parent, innocent convict, and then we have the daughters here. The Daughters of Cacophony are a recent occurrence, and their numbers are few and far between. Suspect they are formed by a mystical union between the Malkavian and Toreador clans. So let's see here. Be a goth, electronic, industrial, dark wave. Yeah, and then here's another new discipline. Melpomene. Legacy of the Daughters of Cacophony. It allows possessors to use speech for a variety of supernatural effects. These effects, except the last, cannot be traced back to you and carry no risk of violating the Masquerade. Throw your voice. Mesmerize others with song. Enthrall someone with your song. Make target explode with a high frequency cry. Shattering crescendo. Fry the target's brains with a scream. Ugh. And then we have the Harbingers. What is it? This dude, he reminds me of the Elvis zombie from Halloween Town, if anyone's ever seen that. In an age forgot by history itself, the founders of Cappadocians. Oh, the Cappadocians, huh? There were far too many in the society he built for the clan. He warned his child to limit their growth, and now he had to take matters in his own hands. He lured his dynasty to Kimakli, one of their greatest strongholds, and buried those he deemed unworthy of the thousands of vampires sealed eternally with no sustenance. After centuries of never-ending carnage and cannibalism, only a few prevailed, and way beyond the beings they were, no more the seal of their grave could no more contain them. That was a mouthful. Failed businessman, bounty hunter, TV host, survival cult member, Auspix, Fortitude, and Mortis. Mortis sounds really interesting here. Original discipline of death. Let the vampires accelerate the decay of the victim and other nefarious effects. Obviously supernatural and should not be used in safe areas. Pain from the afterworld will strike your victim. The kindred enters a state of death where they can temporarily feel no physical pain. Corpse in the monster will dissipate only after it has absorbed enough damage. Character animates skulls to bite attackers. Whispers dark knowledge of the dark mother to enemies near, who will become violently ill and vomit blood. Miasmic blow will take down several enemies. Well, that's interesting, but I believe they obviously have a masquerade breaking appearance, so you gotta be careful. Okay, she just looks like she's just got the Joker scars. And he just looks like a zombie, so yeah. And then we have the Lamias, the defenders of the clan of death. The Lamia still live despite the Giovanni diablerizing their founder. Unlike Cappadocians, they don't have a corpse-like complexion, but their biting to mortals is painful. Interesting. That's just like look at that. That is not natural. That looks like it hurts. Private Eye, Old Boxer, and alternate starting traits, Veteran. Take our sheets, and they also have Mortis. And then there is actual Cappadocians, so regular Cappadocians. Original Masters of Death, the Cappadocians still live despite the betrayal at the hands of the young bloodline of Giovanni. Due to their inherent clan weakness, all Cappadocians have a corpse-like complexion resembling death. I don't know, man. Dude's just pale. Or maybe, I don't know, his eyes are a bit wonky. I mean, that's a nice dress. Book Eater, Grave Digger. Get +1 to scholarship, but also -1 to finance. Digging all day long. Alternate starting trait priorities. Creepy Mortician. More expensive Fortitude. Theologian. What? 1, 2. So if I'm just curious. It's been a while, like I said, so I'm trying to figure out what that actually means. Okay, so yeah. Mental is more prioritized in physical, mental, social. So, 1 sec. I just want to remember what that actually means. Alright, so I just wanted to look at and just let you guys know what the detriment and positives for each clan were. So you guys can just, obviously, like I said, it's in the manual, you can look at it. But I want you guys to know before we decide what kind of character we're going to play. So let me just find it here. New clans. New clan details. There we go. But before that, I think we have, True Bruja. Oh man, he looks... Why is he leaning like that? That's... The True Bruja claimed that the founder of the clan Bruja met his death at the hands of his child. That's Troy, I believe. And that all those that call themselves Bruja are in fact truth descendants of this Diablerist. Unlike the false Bruja, passionate brawlers, the True Bruja are emotionally detached scholars, chroniclers, and knowledge seekers. And most of all, the Bruja's discipline of celerity is only a weak derivation of of the original and unique discipline of their true Bruja ancestors of Temporis. Alright, see, she looks normal. Why is this dude, like, leaning? Like, he's standing straight. Dude's got really bad spinal problems. But yeah, clockmaker, librarian, historian, and then Temporis. Signature discipline of the true Bruja grants the user control over the flux of time. The target is entranced in an event of its life, so I'm assuming it's like stunned. Ages the target, making them weaker. Freezes in a temporal anomaly the organs of the target. Ooh. All enemies in front of you will fall in a trance. All enemies around the target included are frozen in a temporal anomaly. Attacking any target might reset the effect. Alright. So, those are all the clans and all the, basically, the disciplines. So let me just go and take a look and tell you guys the positives and detriments of each of these clans. Alright, so, first off, we have the Daywalker. Bonuses: 4 disciplines can bear the daylight. Humanity changes are doubled. Crows: faster healing, 1 dot animalism. Humanity changes are doubled. Daughters: +1 persuasion, but a perception maximum of 3, and they get madness. So I guess they're also kind of insane, like the Malkavians. The Harbingers: 1 to soak, so like it soaks damage, and +10 damages when you're in a frenzy. Masquerade break in appearance and no obfuscate, so you can't hide your appearance. The Lamians: +1 to defense, but the biting of mortals is painful, so it makes drinking blood difficult. So that's something to pay attention to. Cappadocians: +2 to research, but a max 3 to appearance. And the true Brujas: 1 to research and perception, but humanity costs much more to raise. So there's that. And then we have the line 2 here. So Nephilim: humanity gains doubled and cheaper, but humanity changes are also doubled. So if you do something bad that lowers your humanity, it's just gonna go even lower. To the Tlask: +2 to persuasion, but gangrel-like frenzy, and -1 to soaks damage. Alright, it's not that bad. Nanke: +2 to perception, low humanity, and madness. Gargoyles: +2 to soak, so yeah, like I said, they're just tanks. Masquerade break in appearance and no obfuscate. Ravnos: manipulation costs less to raise, and -2 on all frenzy checks. The Telyavs: no Tremere default weakness, but their thaumaturgy has no effect on those with true faith. Which, I even went to look at, like, how many people actually have true faith in the game? Unless this adds more, I'm not sure. But that actually is kind of interesting, because the Telyavs also have a unique discipline as well. I'll go over that real quick. And then the Volgir can use limited vicissitude, and humanity changes are doubled. But yeah, and then the Telyavs have their own thaumaturgical path. If the Telyavs grant to be inducted in the Tremere Pyramid, it receives also the right to learn further thaumaturgical paths. It's disabled on default due to issues with presence, and then in the manual here it tells you how to re-enable it. So if we do choose to be a Telyav, I can re-enable this, and we can get like, so level 1, Path of Mars, the Path of Inner Strength, grants 1 to dodge and 1 to brawl. Neptune's Might freezes the target, reducing dexterity and perception by 1 each. Path of the Levin Bolt zaps the target, possibly causing stun. Thylandic Thaumaturgy entangles and damages the targets with Spirits of Nature lost. And then the Path of Fire casts fireballs. So if we wanted to be a Telyav, we could do that. But at the moment, I'll be honest, Telyavs are kind of interesting. I'm also tempted by the Lamians as well. And I think there was like another. I think Daywalker and Crows are also interesting. But like I said, they're all interesting. So I might make a poll for these, but there'd have to be multiple polls to decide which one we want to be. But yeah, otherwise, leave any leave your choices and everything down below. And if you have any other Vampire Masquerade knowledge you just want to share, go right ahead. And if you want to, you know, lay down even more history on all these clans, besides obviously Daywalker and Krell, which are made up, go right ahead. And like I said, help me decide who we're going to play for this series. I'm thinking, like I said, Lamians or the Talyavs. Mostly because I like the Mortis discipline. And I can't remember. I don't think we can learn other disciplines. Can we? Alright, just taking a quick look. It looks like in the unofficial patch, if we talk to Beckett, he can teach us one extra discipline. So that's the only way that we can learn, huh? Alright, well that's good to know. So let me just see this real quick. So if we were... What are we? This is the Lamians. Fortitude, Potence, and Mortis. And then Talyavs are on the second one, so... Crow, Animalism, Auspic, Celerity, Presence. I think... Even if we have 4, I don't think Beckett can teach us, because I think there's like 2 hidden disciplines. The Blood Buff and... that discipline or something. I could be wrong. I guess we'll find out whenever we do play. But let me know who you guys are thinking. Like I said, I'm leaning towards the Lamians or the Talyavs just because of those unique disciplines. Temporis is also a pretty interesting one. But yeah. So let me know on what you guys think of that. Well, to be fair, also Cappadocians are also an interesting one. Auspics, Fortitude, Mortis. Wait. Auspics, Fortitude, Mortis. Fortitude, Potence. What does Potence do again? Alright, so this is more for melee attacks. So they got melee and then they got the Mortis thing. And then Fortitude is more tanky. Yes. Alright. Fair enough. But yeah, and Cappadocians. So Cappadocians, Lamians, and Talyavs are right now my top 3 choices. But let me know your guys' thoughts. I hope you guys look forward to this series. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. It's just taking a while for me to get it. And I do apologize for the lack of uploads on anything. Life is lifing, right? So what better way to get into it than start our own life? So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave any comments down below. Leave a like if you like. Leave a dislike if you dislike. But tell me why. And I shall see you all later.